So can I get some clarification? I've been watching you nonstop for about 4 or 5 years. I've done the silent prayer every morning and every night for at least the last 2 years. Took a little while to get there, but
Right.
I got there.
Better late than never.
Right. Today you've mentioned about identities, and halfway through the church you also mentioned how we like to blame others for things that are going on within ourselves.
Yes.
And then I've also heard you mention on your show quite often that we need shame. There's not enough shame in this country. So how do you go about feeling shame and blame yourself without hurting yourself or feeling like you're the failure? Does
That's
that make
a good
sense?
question. Is it, when you can hold on to the mic for a minute. When you see yourself, like what Raymond said, when you see that whatever you did wasn't you, that it was a spirit of anger that made a home and you thought it was you, you see that it wasn't you and you can't believe that you gave into that. And you gave into it because you didn't know it wasn't you. But then in that very same moment, don't judge yourself. Because it's not even you judging you for what you did. It's enough to see it. And seeing it, shame is not like making yourself feel a certain way. Shame is seeing that something else is driving you and made you do crazy things, right? And once you see it, Satan's gonna try to make you judge yourself for it. Just know that's not even you judging yourself.
I think that's why we blame others so much, because we don't want to look within ourselves. Because
Absolutely.
the first thing we'll do is we'll start judging
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's a fine line to take ownership of what you did, but not beat yourself up over it.
But you won't even take ownership because you didn't do it.
Do it, right.
Because when you take ownership, you're still saying you did it.
But isn't that what, like, blaming yourself would be doing, is taking ownership? Like,
Yeah.
for example, just say like an alcoholic saying, you know, oh, my family drank, my friends drink, so that's why I drink. Instead of
Yeah.
looking at themselves, blaming themselves. But the alcoholic wouldn't say, I'm an alcoholic, because that's an identity that's not them, correct?
Right. Well, if the alcoholic is alcoholic and he's blind, he's going to blame himself. He's going to call himself an alcoholic. And then because we are justified and condemned by our words, whatever we say is what we'll become.
Right.
And so he's just going to start seeing himself as an alcoholic, not seeing that he got some other issue going on, and that's causing him to drink because he doesn't want to face the issues.
Right.
He wants to escape, not knowing that he's being influenced by evil. So he'll call himself that, and he will become that, because so is a man thinking, so as he is.
Right. I think it's just going on the alcoholic subject of blaming yourself, like, oh, it's not them, it's me. I'm the one with the issue.
It's not
then,
even that your parents did it either.
Right.
If your daddy was a drunk and you become a drunk, it wasn't because your daddy was a drunk. It was because you hated your daddy for being a drunk, because mama hated your daddy for being a drunk, and you become like what you hate.
That makes sense.
Whatever makes you angry. It's not your daddy's fault. It had nothing to do with your genes. It had nothing to do with any of that. It had everything to do with judgment. If you saw your father drunk while growing up, and your mother never said anything about it, and you just saw that he drank, you would never have a problem with alcohol because you never judged him.
Sure.
That would be his issue and not yours. But the world would tell you, oh, I'm an alcoholic because my mama was an alcoholic, my daddy was an alcoholic. They're lying to you.
So when taking ownership, though, isn't necessarily, because I'm trying to get over the blaming, not blaming others and blaming yourself.
I'm sorry?
I'm trying to get over the not blaming others and blaming yourself.
You want to get over not blaming others but blaming yourself?
Well, as far as just the subject goes, you're talking about identities, right?
Right.
So if you blame yourself for what's going on within you, isn't that identifying with it?
Right, because who is the self that you're blaming?
The not me.
The what?
The not me.
And so how can you blame the not you as yourself, though? There is no self to blame. And who is the self that's blaming the self?
I was just going off what you said earlier about We need to stop blaming others and look within ourselves.
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But when you look within yourself, you're seeing that it's not you.
Got it.
And then by seeing that it's not you, you're going to see in others that it's not them.
But we normally do want to see that it's us because we pity ourselves or for whatever other reason.
You want to see that as you because you don't know that it's not you. If you knew it was not you, you don't want to see that as you because it's not you. There's no you to see. So there's never any blame because you see it coming from the spirit of evil that you thought was you at one time. And so you see that it's not you, you just see it without having a form of blame or anything. Oh, what you don't realize, and you might realize this now, that seeing it, all you have to do, and you don't have to put anything to that. You don't have to add anything onto it. All you need to do is just see it. Once it's revealed, because there's an intellectual seeing too that doesn't work. But when the Spirit of God allows you to see it, there's nothing you don't need to title it, identify with it, blame it. You just see it, and the light take care of the darkness.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just need to stay out of it. Because it's the devil that's telling
I
you.
think it's the intellect, like what you were saying. I'm intellectually trying to make sense of it.
Right.
He white.
And you right. And the intellect is of your father, the devil.
Right.
The intellect is not of God. The intellect is there for you to get knowledge, but not for you to hold on to it. Let the knowledge go and wisdom will come.
And that's why the silent prayer helps. I'm
Yes.
having to do it more this week because Satan's working overtime. So.
Yeah. Because he's going to get worse as you wake up and see him. You haven't seen the pain yet of the devil.
Oh, I've seen it this week.
Oh, you did?
I was going through what this gentleman did where I loved being lied to, and I let go from it.
Uh-huh.
And the devil's just in my mind all week.
So a woman lied to you and you found out? Mm-hmm. And then you let her go?
Well, I didn't find out. I knew she was. I just didn't want to let her go, but I knew it was what was best for me.
Oh, and you let her go. You felt pain from it?
And I also let my family go because they didn't really support my decision coming down here, so I let them all go.
Right.
So Satan's been working overtime this week to try and convince me that the decisions that I'm making aren't the ones that are right, or...
Well, at least one man got sense enough to walk away from the devil when you see it.
It was tough.
And why was it tough?
Because usually I have, like, homies, friends, and over the years that I thought that they were going to be my friends for a long time.
Right.
I always had them.
Yeah.
When my family wasn't there for me or my girlfriend had problems or whatever, I always had my homies, and just over the years, they either got married and then just stuck with their wife and they barely reached out, or there was altercations where one of my friends of 12 years, and he just recently like got drunk and just threw alcohol across the room and started yelling at everybody, and I was like, I don't want to be friends with this kind of person. So like when you think that people are there for you, your family, your girlfriend, your friends, and then years pass by and you just notice that things fall apart, you just gotta let go.
Right. First of all, and just to add to what you were saying, nobody has ever been there for you. It's all been an illusion. And if they were there for you, there was nothing they could do for you anyway.
I'm starting to realize that.
Yeah, even if they're there, it's just another human being there.
Yeah.
They can't solve your issues, the spiritual issues that you're having. Oh, hold the mic to the mouth.
Oh,
They can't solve the spiritual issue that you have. Nobody or nothing can do anything about that. So they weren't there. They may have been hanging out with you, but that's about it. And
I
in your
look at that
mind,
now,
you
I
were
see
calling
that.
it something else.
They were just there.
Right.
And I look back, I was like, we had fun together, but what was the fun? They were trying to escape their problems. I was trying to escape my problems.
Yes, absolutely. Amazing.
Yeah.
Nice.